3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to another episode of Questlog. It's a weekly show about video games old and new. My name is Tyler Everett and I am joined by not only Luke Phillips, but also O'Brien Maxwell. What's going on, guys?
Hey, how's it going?
Fuck you, Tyler.
Yep, there you go. Subverting expectations. Just call me Ryan Johnson over here. He directed the Star Wars movie that no one liked. The Jedi, you know the one.
The Last Jedi?
The Last Jedi.
For, huh?
Yeah, that's what I was going for. Flipping it around, switching it up. You didn't know that was coming. What do you know? Anyway, how you guys been? How's November treating you?
It's been a real rainy November.
Yeah. It's early. It's too early to call, but so far November, thumbs down for me. I have been eating a lot of Halloween candy, though, so that's been a good thing. There's been a lot of that around. I have a hustle. I have a Halloween hustle.
Question.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did you steal the candy from your daughter, or did you buy it for, like, half off?
Nope.
Good question.
Nope and nope. I did a fair trade. So here's the thing. My daughter has got all kinds of allergies. She can't do dairy, soy, or...
Finally pays off.
Yeah, like a lot of things. Most candy is straight out the door because it all has dairy or soy in it. Eggs, a lot of stuff, right? So what we do is we go out and we buy a bunch of candy that she can have. They make tons of soy-free, dairy-free, all that. And it's great. It tastes just as good. It's mostly organic stuff, whatever. So we fill up, whole pumpkins full of this stuff. And then... when she goes out trick-or-treating, she doesn't say anything. She's not like, oh, I need special treatment or whatever. Like, she just gets really excited, gets handed a bunch of candy, and when she comes home, we do a little trade. We just trade out her pumpkin. So she gives us the candy-filled one, and we give her her candy-filled one. And then when we come... Yeah, and then I don't have to buy candy for the children in the neighborhood. I just hand that stuff out. So that's like, we get back from our trick-or-treating, we hit up the next few trick-or-treaters that come by, and they get the candy that she collected from the rest. We're just redistributing the candy wealth. We've got a real...
trickle down.
Yeah.
You're like re-gifting.
Yeah, kinda. But this year we stayed out a little bit longer because it was really nice out. Like most Halloweens in Michigan over the last 20 years or so have been rainy or snowy. And it was super nice.
Yeah,
on Halloween.
Was good.
So we stayed out a little longer, so I didn't hand as much of it out to the other kids in the neighborhood, and there's been a lot left over. So I have been enjoying that.
Yeah, pretty good racket going on.
Yeah, it's not bad, right? So that's the deal. There's a new thing called Rainbow. What are they? I consumed them not long ago. Here they are, Rainbow Chewies. They're like Skittles. I'll zoom in on that.
Like off-brand Skittles?
I don't know. I think they're new.
Like off-brand Skittles.
Yeah, I mean they're basically Skittles.
But it's like Cocoa Poofs.
Right, yeah.
Why not just get regular Skittles?
I don't know. That's just, somebody's been giving these out, man. I'm eating them. They're all right. Rainbow Chewies.
Reese's
Get them.
peanut butter cups this week.
Oh, yeah.
My kids like them, but I love them, so my kids gave me all their Reese's peanut butter cups.
That's a good move. That's
good.
That's love right there. That's unconditional. Giving up them Reese's. God damn. I know you've been known to toss them in the fridge. So fridge or freezer? Either way,
Fridge,
a cold
usually.
Reese's that's a good choice.
Just give me all that, just fat and sugar and salt. And just
coat it in chocolate.
Put it in me.
Slam it right down. Anyway, hey, we done been playing some video games. I've been playing some video games. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
Not a lot. Not a lot. I've had some real late nights at work lately, but did manage to get in last night with Luke and Krang and do some of the Halloween event for Sea of Thieves. That's
That
been pretty
sounds
good.
Spooky, Tyler.
It was.
That's November. I'm sorry. It's November.
Yeah.
Old.
Tyler, that sounds spooky.
It was real spooky. I don't think I got any good footage of it. But you can trust me to know that it was very spooky.
Yes. It's starting to sound a little suspect.
Now the basic rub
Did anyone
was.
see this, Tyler? Is there any evidence of it anywhere?
I got maybe
Witness.
20. I got maybe 20 seconds here. I can hit
You're
you with like
credible.
about 20 seconds of walking around on a boat. Anyway,
I can confirm that it was spooky.
yeah, the idea is kind of neat. It's when you die on the ferry of the damned, there is a well of souls in the middle. That
Ferry.
right, yeah, important distinction. We're talking about boats here.
Carry on
Thank you, Brian. Thanks for clearing that up for
for the listeners.
at
home.
Right. Anyway, so
It's not a pixie.
the
Go on.
idea is the flame will change colors depending on how you perished. So if you got killed by a snake, you got a purple flame. If you got killed by a pirate, it's a pink flame.
Pink.
If it's killed by skeletons, it's green. Just and so on. And there's various commendations for doing stuff with that light. So you can take that light into your lantern and carry it around and then light your own ship's lanterns with it. You can light these beacons around the world, and this unlocks commendations. There's ones for doing it with other crews and having your boats sync up and both be running the same colored lights on different boats in your alliance, stuff like that. So it was pretty easy to do, not very time consuming, and you get to just kind of do it while messing around in the world.
That can be fun, though. Something you don't have to, get up for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it took us still probably about 3-ish hours or so.
Yeah, it took some
3.5.
time.
So it wasn't super short, but we did it all in one night.
It's one
And
of the
it worked out because we had someone else come up to us and we were able to join an alliance and swap our colors a little bit and do some accommodations.
Right.
Some of the ones that were on the more difficult side, and I wasn't sure how easy it was going to be to do. Guy came up, we swapped our colors around, coordinated them, and got some of the real high-end accommodations for it. So it was good.
Yeah, he was a fellow pirate legend and gave us some loot too. Like we were totally prepared to hand over some of our stuff to try to convince this guy to join up with us and do these silly little commendations, but he was more than willing to help and appreciated the gesture and gave us some of his loot, so that was kind of cool. But yeah,
It's nice to break up some of the regular voyages with that
well, and it took us
style of gameplay.
all of 3 or 4 weeks, I think, to get the previous event stuff done. So it was kind of cool to just have a shorter list of things to do and get in and knock it out in one night.
Yeah,
A
think
little
that
more
was
laid
cool.
back.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yep. So yeah, good times. Good times in the old Sea of Thieves. I don't know. Been playing the Pokemon Go still. They just had an event today. Luke, did you wind up going to that?
Yeah, I did go for a little bit. It was okay.
Yeah.
It was Gengar and its shiny variant, and it's instead of purple, it's like a light gray purple. There's not a lot of difference to it.
I looked at that and I was like, are we sure that that's actually unique? Is that different? Is it just darker? Yeah, it's...
So I went out for a little bit, and they give you 5 free raid passes, and I was like, all right, well, whatever. I'll just do the 5 free for today, and hopefully I get the shiny version. I'll just call it quits. Well, I didn't. Raid after raid, I didn't get the shiny version. Until finally I was like, all right, Jesus Christ, I'm just tired of doing this stupid raid. This is going to be my last one. I better just fucking get it. So we finish it, pops up on screen, little sparkles come up, thank God. So I called it, just called it a day.
Nice.
That's the mindset you want for your gaming.
This better be it, I swear to Christ.
Thank Christ.
Usually I have better luck with the special events like that, so...
It's it's this game's version of, getting the right drop kind of thing, you know.
Yep.
Or opening the foil card in your, package. That's
Yeah,
kinda
it was
neat.
kind of like one of those deals to where it's like, it's a good meta fighter, but like I have some other ones that could replace it. I don't really need it, but the shiny version's out, and I kind of want to put it up in my collection.
It's silly how those shiny things can really motivate you. Like I was walking my dog and just before the show here, and they just released a shiny version of Pinsir. It's like this beetle bug looking
It's a beetle.
Pokemon with the big friggin' mandibles on his head. It's kind of cool. And they released a shiny version of that today too, and it's like bluish purple instead of brown, so it's like looks pretty cool. And Luke messaged me earlier and he's like, yeah, I caught one, but it was on my alt, not my main. And
The second one I checked this morning,
yeah,
I woke up, turned on my phone, checked it. I was like, "Oh, cool! Yep, got it on my alt. Like, let me go check my other account and see if I can get it." All fucking day, nothing.
So as I was walking my dog, the same thing happened to me, Luke. My alt caught it on the second one I checked, and actually got another shiny one too while I was out. So I got 2 of them on my alt and 0 on the main. So there you go.
Well, at least you can trade them over.
Yeah, that's true. So anyway, there's your Pokemon Go update.
Oh no, hang on! I want to talk
Oh.
about this. They finally released Adventure Sync. We
Oh
talked
yeah,
about it
yeah,
a week
yeah.
or two ago, and
That's why-
so far it's been a fantastic update.
Yeah,
Was that
it's not an
SYNC.
adventurous kitchen sink here. Yeah,
Oh,
it's a different
okay,
kind
yeah.
of sink.
Thank you for the clarification.
Yeah,
Hey, someone's got to do it.
yeah, or else we're gonna get emails
There's
about
really
it.
two components to it. One is you get a weekly reward for your distance traveled,
Mm.
which is Pokeballs of different varieties or Stardust, eggs, stuff like that, which is kind of cool. So that actually is a better reward for actually getting out and walking. But there's a second side of it to where it will sync with either Google Fit or Apple Health. And while those are tracking your steps in the distance, it will sync over to Pokemon Go and use that as your distance in game. Instead of using GPS, which is notorious for being very, very inaccurate and required to have the game up and running and draining your battery the entire time.
That's cool.
So this has been great.
So it's just every time. So instead, every time you launch the app, it's just gonna import your health data and then use that. Is that the
It's
deal?
not even supposed to be when you open the app. It can actually just do it in the background. So like if you're just walking with the game closed, it will still kind of sync that back and forth, and you'll get like a notification saying, "Hey, you have an egg that's hatching." And then from
cool.
there, you can actually open the game, hatch your egg, put a new one in your incubator, and close
Cool.
out of it and keep walking.
That'll be useful because there's a lot of times where I'm definitely walking places or biking, but I don't really want to have the game up and running, and
Well, even just figure like, even just walking around work.
yeah, yep.
That's a distance that could be tracked. It may not be a lot, but during the day it can add up.
It adds up, yeah, for sure.
So that's great. I'm glad to see that. It's a feature that people have been wanting for over 2 years. When they released the game, they said, "Why can't I sync this with my Fitbit and have it track my steps that way?"
That's a thing that a lot of different apps try, is like gamificating the gamification of like fitness and health and stuff, and it's a lot of times it's tough to get bought into any of that. Like there was one I tried, I think it was like a running jogging thing, and it was like zombies were chasing you, was kind of like the idea, and like it tracked your distance and all that, and you could like, it was like an audio thing, you could hear it, and there would be like story and things. It was kind of cool, but I mean overall, like tying it into a game I'm already playing is a really good incentive. Like
That's better than having that be the whole game, because I've seen
Right.
little things on there where it's like, hey, we're going to give you XP for just doing daily tasks and shit, and you're going to gain levels. And I was like, I don't know, maybe. And then I install it, and I don't know, like a day later, I'm just like, I don't give a shit about
yeah,
this.
right.
Yep, I've seen those as well. It's like, I don't care.
Here's a number. Here's 100 widgets for you.
Yep, you got them.
Right.
Look at the language app that I use, Duolingo, is like that. Like I don't care about any of that. I just like it because it's a very, easy and accessible way to kind of like learn languages. Sponsor us, Duolingo. But they do something like that too, where you can get these. I think they call them lingots, and you can use them to either like buy your way into streaks, because they have like a just sign in every day and do your lesson thing, and if you do that so many days in a row, you get a streak, you get more XP and whatever. But you can buy like outfits for the mascot of the game. It's like this little owl.
Shit,
I don't give a fuck about how my owl looks, man. I just want to.
You want to
learn Swedish.
Dress your owl.
Your dolly owl.
I just don't care about that. I don't know. It's weird. I'm a weird guy. Anyway, there you go. There's your Pokemon update. It's not available to everyone yet. I think, Luke, what is it? Level 35 and up?
30 and up now.
30 and up. Okay. Getting there. I'll be in on the next round. Unless they're like 29 and up now. I think I'm at 28. So, there you go.
Yeah, it should be within the next few days.
Cool.
We'll probably push it out to everyone.
Cool. Both platforms is on. Do you know if they're on iOS and Android currently?
Google Fit and Apple Health.
Okay. All right. There you go. What about you, Brian? What you been, or Luke? You got anything else you've been playing?
Oh shit! Yeah. So I actually have a few new ones for this week, surprisingly.
Hell yeah!
So one of our listeners and good friend Mike, he wanted to actually play Mario Party, so we kind of actually went half season in the game, and we played that some today.
How did you find it?
It's not bad. I like it. I played a little bit on the Wii and Wii U over at a friend's house and whatnot, so it's my first time actually owning a Mario Party, but it doesn't stray too far from the formula at all, and it's just probably a good thing for what it is.
Sort of the organized chaos.
Yeah. But it's good. It does a real good job of keeping the games close. You know, it's usually like the last few rounds is when you start getting a few of the stars, and then it comes down to the bonus stars at the end, and yeah, it's good. It's fun. It's just the two of us.
Does it take advantage of the Wii like motion sensing and stuff? Like, do you play with the Joy-Cons?
Yeah, you have to play with the Joy-Cons. Pro controller is not supported. Yeah, pretty much everything. It's in some fashion uses the motion controller, which they're all really good. There's only like one or two that just felt kind of awkward.
I think I just saw one where you are like cooking a cube of beef in a cast iron skillet.
Right, flipping it.
Yeah, I did not get that game today, and I'm kind of upset about that because I could practice flipping meat in a cast iron skillet.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's cool. We did 3 games. Unlocked a few different maps. There's some characters to unlock as well.
Can you get Waluigi?
Yes, he's already unlocked.
Oh, thank Christ.
Unlike Smash Brothers.
Yep. R.I.P. Good times, man. That seems like...
Yeah, I don't know how much I'm going to play it, especially without someone else. It seems like it'd be a real bad solo game.
You wouldn't play it by yourself.
No.
I can see myself taking it over to a friend's house for a game night and plugging in 4 people playing Mario Party. It'd be kind of fun.
Hell yeah.
That's what it's really all about.
Cool, man.
I also got into Fallout 76 beta.
Hell yeah. I've been waiting to hear about this. So what'd you think?
I don't know.
Uh-oh.
I really don't know what to think of this game.
Luke, in my mind, you are the Fallout guy. Like,
I know.
You are the Fallout man.
Yeah. And I love survival games, too.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't mesh.
Is it just that Bethesda's particular brand of jankiness doesn't really jive in a multiplayer scenario, or what do you think? So,
the way it starts out is you wake up in the vault. Everyone else has already left.
Mm-hmm.
So you go through character creation, you step outside, and your first quest is to find the Overseer.
Do they give you like hey, lazy bones, you overslept, you silly goose, everyone's already gone?
There is an automated announcement that's like,
If you're still in here, get the fuck
No,
out.
I was like, some of you might have partied a little too hard last night.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, so you're basically waking up from a hangover.
Okay.
And yeah, so you leave the vault, you go outside, and you're going down this path, and there's like little random shacks and like little camping areas. I don't know if they're player based or just in the game world at this point. And it was kind of fun to go and kind of ransack that. And it seems like all the containers might be randomly generated for each person, because as soon as you go up to them, there's like a very slight like loading circle on those. So I would imagine that's the server actually, dynamically creating that loot for you on the fly.
Huh.
So I kind of like that, and it was real fun, like going through grass and going to this camp, looting it, and be like, okay, cool, like I got a pistol now, I got some ammo. But then you get to like the first little town, which is basically a quest hub, and it's like, okay, access this computer, find this person by the river, collect water samples, boil the water, go back to the computer, find this person. And it's like, oh my god, these quests are just not fun. They're not interesting. I don't care.
Yeah.
And a lot of it just seems to be like a tutorial.
Yeah.
It's just like, go kill this Brahmin, collect its meat, grill a steak at this workstation. All right, like you're just trudging through it, and it's just not fun how they do it.
So is that something where you think you'd prefer like the Rust method, where it's just
like here?
Yep, figure it out.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was most fun when I was just going through the world and trying to find loot on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one of my quests was go find this like survival kit, and it's just like a drop crate full of loot. It's like, why is this out here? Like, this was just placed here for me to get some items along my way. The controls were awful. Like when you're in like a menu, like you hit tab to back out of something instead of using escape.
Okay.
So this doesn't make sense. It feels a lot like Elder Scrolls Online in a way.
How's that?
It's set in the same universe, and you recognize all the stuff from that universe, but it doesn't play the same as the base games.
That's really weird to me, because it seems like, I mean, this is an actual Bethesda game. It's not ZeniMax Studios that made, like that was with the Elder Scrolls game. It feels like they should be able to just import that, basically. And in some respects, it sounds like they did. Like, I was reading that your frame rate controls your actual move speed, so that like looking down at the ground and like dropping your graphics performance a ton will actually make you move faster in the world in relation to other players. So like you can basically look like you're zipping around at light speed if you can get your frame rate high enough and use that to avoid other players, or effectively cheat.
I remember them saying that they had to take a game engine that wasn't meant for online multiplayer and convert it to that, and obviously that's one of the issues that comes up.
To me, that would be the entire argument for not doing that. Would be like, this wasn't made for an online netcode or any of that kind of stuff. So
wasn't it the documentary that talked about that, the No Clip documentary, where they said that they had to like all sorts of challenges, and like the entire game engine was based on interacting with like the player from the code base side of things. And so now they have to adapt the game engine to work with multiple players.
Well, and that's what it seems like, why that particular issue seems kind of like whoops, we kind of missed that one, because...
And obviously they know that. Like, they've had this game engine in for a long time, so they should know that, hey, movement speed is tied to frame rate. That could probably be exploited very easily.
Yeah, I don't know how you wouldn't think that would be the literal first thing people would try. And it was, and it came out really quick after these beta invites started going out.
Right, because I'm sure people know that, hey, in Fallout 4, you can do this and this to move faster. Let's see if it works in 76. Oh, it does.
Are people reporting this as an issue? Like,
yeah, like I've seen video of like dudes just running circles around other people because they're like looking at the ground, and their frame rate's super high because the game isn't having to actually render any of that other stuff.
Right.
And that seems broken. Like if the goal is, hey, I want to kill that guy.
Yeah, that also seems like something we're not going to be able to patch out on Tuesday.
Right. Yeah, like oh shit. Actually, we gotta put in the
seems like a
the move speed thing. Problem. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, if it's a variable that's tied to frame rate, though, they might just be able to hard code it to something.
Just like, cap it at whatever, so nobody can move faster than X. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Like movement speed equals to frame rate, not to exceed 60 or something.
So,
but that's just assuming. I have no idea how the code actually works in the game.
So first impression is kind of
yeah, very mediocre. The card system is okay.
Did you interact with other players? Did you fight anybody?
Brian, I'm glad you brought that up
fools?
Because I had the most awkward interaction with someone earlier today.
Yeah.
Yep.
Was it at the Pokemon Go thing?
Boom.
No comment on that one. No, this is in 76. So I'm running around doing my stuff, doing a quest, and I got Mike over. He's kind of checking it out too, and we're talking back and forth. And this guy is like coming up to me. He's like, I hear voice chat. He's like, hey, like, do you want to get some of this meat from this Brahmin I just killed?
Is it a proximity?
And I'm like, oh shit, like I don't know how to talk to this guy. I don't know if there's push to talk or not. And the guy's like, oh hey, no, there's not. Like it's just always on. I'm like, oh shit, you can hear me right now? He's like, yeah, I've been hearing your entire conversation with whoever you're talking to.
That's fucked up, dude.
Oh, that's real fucking awkward. Okay. I'm like, can I disable this at all? He's like, nope, it's just always on. All right, cool. And so I just walked away.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I do not want your meat, sir.
Right. So I found out.
Turned to Mike. Listen to this guy's fucking meat. I'm gonna kill him and take his stuff. I heard that.
Yeah, so I had to go into the audio settings, and there is no push to talk. It'll just always pick up what you're saying, but there is like different audio channels. So there's like everyone or just group and something else I can't remember. But like, even if we were just in a group together, it would still always pick up whatever I'm saying. So I'm not a fan of, personally.
I mean, you could always mute your mic, I guess, but that is weird that the game doesn't offer a push-to-talk button. That seems like a staple of modern gaming.
Yeah, so I just turned off audio. So I can't hear anyone, and I don't think they can hear me, but I don't know.
You can play a banjo in this.
Yep, you can.
That's worth the price of admission right there.
Okay. As far as killing people, no. In the first little starting area, I think it's only once you hit level 6 or 7 that you can start PvP.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So I tried shooting someone, and it's like, you're not high enough level to do this yet. Oh, okay. Also, the real other weird thing is they're going to carry over characters from beta to launch.
Really?
Which is super rare.
That never happens. Huh.
Exactly.
When is launch, though? Isn't it just in a couple weeks?
Yeah, it's like 2 weeks. It's
so
14th, I think.
At that point, it's really not a beta so much as you're just playing it early. Yeah.
It really is almost like a soft launch at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
They had a real fun bug earlier in the week, though. If you guys hear about that.
Mm-mm.
So it's like a 50 or 60 gig game. And there was a bug in their launcher that when you went to launch the game, deleted the installation.
That's not what you want.
No,
Well,
that's the opposite of what that should do, really.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. So I guess they're actually like asking people, don't do anything in the Bethesda launcher, please.
Huh.
Don't use
Got it.
All right, sold.
Yeah. So beta goes on for a few hours tomorrow. They're only like 4-hour sessions. I might try to get back into it and get a few more levels in, but I don't know. I don't think there's enough that I enjoy to keep my pre-order.
Do you think having like a dedicated group of people to play with regularly would be something that would change it?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if there was a smaller group of us that were interested in playing it and we could actually go explore together, I'm sure that'd be different, but I don't know. It'd be like going into Rust by yourself. You'd be at a huge disadvantage, and
Miss a lot of the fun of it.
yeah.
Well, that is interesting. I'm not sold on it yet. I was excited at the original prospect of it, but hearing that it's been getting a lukewarm at best response, so I'm not.
I would say that's very optimistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here. Like the announcement came out, I was like, yes, like I'm all for this. It sounds fantastic. Let's do it. And then you don't hear anything for a few months. Beta comes out, you hear about issue after issue. It's like, I don't think that this is in a good spot. Not for $60.
Yeah.
Maybe give it some time and check back in on it a few
true.
months down the road.
I know Elder Scrolls is kind of experiencing a revival. Elder Scrolls Online, that is. And people who
I've been hearing good things for a while now.
Yeah. I try to dip my toes in every once in a while, and it's still kind of not for me, but people that are into it as something to be not WoW seem to really enjoy it and find things that are worthwhile there.
I think I would have enjoyed that game if it came at a different time.
Yeah.
It launched right when I was really getting out of MMOs.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I don't have the time or the mentality to get back into one right now.
Right. Well, I guess we'll see. We'll see if there's anything that changes your mind, keeps that pre-order around or not.
Yeah, I'll probably find out tomorrow.
Cool, man. Let's see. Brian, what you been up to, man?
They put out a demo for the Tetris Effect on PlayStation 4 this week.
Okay.
That's got VR support, so I downloaded that and gave it a whirl, and it's Tetris in VR. Like it's got good electronic music and kind of like moving the pieces and snapping the pieces in kind of goes along with the music. Kind of adds beats to the music. I don't know, it's really got a nice Zen thing going on, and something I might pick up down the road when the time and price is right.
Tetris is always...
I can see that moving over to VR pretty well.
Yeah. So that's pretty neat. I spent, I don't know, maybe half an hour in that, and enough to know that I think I would like it. My daughter tried it, and she didn't do very well at it. And then I tried it, and my son was like, "Wow, Dad, you're great at this." It's like, yeah, let's kind of pump the brakes a little bit there, buddy. But it's like, I was playing this when I was your age.
Right.
Yeah, a little bit of practice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so a good first impression on that one. I took my annual dip into Grim Dawn.
Yeah, I was surprised to see this one listed on the show notes here.
I like action RPGs. Like, I want this to be for me, and every now and again I see something on the internet where someone's like, I don't ever need another Diablo game because Grim Dawn is spectacular. And I'm just like, what the fuck did I miss? I gotta go back because I love those games and it just never hooked me, and it's fine. It's fine.
I hear that about what was that one our friend John
Path
was
of
into?
Exile's the
Path
other
of
one.
Exile. Yep.
It's the same thing when I pick that one up again. It's like I hear people rave about it. I'm just like, I must have missed something. I got to go back.
Everyone's like, this is what Diablo 3
no.
should have been.
Just a lot of it's like, I don't know, like the visuals and the effects, like nothing feels impactful.
Mm-hmm. It very much feels like, hey, if unknown third party tried to make a Diablo game, this is sure what it would look like.
Well, here's the weird part about that is that team made a third-party Diablo game by the name of Titan Quest. Which I've talked about many times before. It's one of my favorite action RPGs, and then I put it up there right with Diablo 2. Came out a few years after, and honestly, for me, it might surpass it. I freaking love that game, and it just got a re-release. I think it's coming out on Switch or something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
We talked about it a while back.
Yeah.
But they had like a massive patch come out over the early summer this year.
Yeah, it was bizarre. It just seemed like a weird, like, hey, here's this 14-year-old action RPG that was, successful but not a huge hit, and we're bringing it back.
Yeah, it was a massive patch, rebalancing, added items, and all this other stuff. And it's coming out like a 10 or 15-year anniversary edition. And this team went through it, and they made their own little development company and made Grim Dawn. And I'm like, yes, like give me more Titan Quest, please. And it just doesn't have the same feel to it. I don't know if it's because it's a completely different game world, and the way Titan Quest really did the whole like Greek mythology and all that sort of stuff just felt good, and this doesn't.
Like it was very bright and colorful, and Grim Dawn's just
grim,
muddy and filthy. And, yeah, grim.
Yeah. And I don't know, it's okay. I love the it's a fine game. It's not great. I love the way they do classes.
Yep, you get to pick 2 classes, and I like that.
Tons of options for it.
Didn't Titan Quest let you pick 2, and then you got like? Didn't you get like a weird mashup of the 2 classes? Didn't like some of the skills, I don't know, weren't some of the skills like a result of which 2 classes you picked?
Not so much.
No.
You picked your 2 classes, but you could really play them off of each other very well, the way they integrated. So in one of my builds, I had a chill aura around me that decreased like their physical resistance.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was also a 2-handed melee fighter doing physical damage. So you can see how those 2 would pair together.
Yeah.
And then I had a little Lich that would follow me around and draw the life from them and give it to me.
That's nice of him.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
It's a good dude.
Liches are great to have in a pinch, That's what I always say. Don't leave home without your Lich.
It's a life lesson.
Yeah, there you go. You can take that one to the bank.
So, are you going to stay with Grim Dawn, or is this your yearly play and now you're done?
Probably. Like, I enjoy it well enough while I'm playing it, but I don't feel a real big drive to go back and play more of it. It's just like, I don't know, I'm kind of bored and restless, and okay, I guess I'll see if this hooks me today.
Would you ever consider playing Titan Quest instead?
Yes, I would.
I think you can get it on the Steam for real cheap.
I has it.
Oh, that's even cheaper.
So there we go.
So the next time that you get that urge to play Grim Dawn to try to find the magic, just boot up Titan Quest instead. Yeah, there you go.
That's not a bad idea. It's a far superior game.
Yeah, I spent some time with Torchlight too. Like, I've played quite a bit of that as well, and I liked that probably more than any of these so far.
That's a real good one. I would say it's just missing the Blizzard polish.
All of these are.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think if it had that little bit of extra polishing on it, it would be fantastic. Yep. But, it was one of those deals where it's like, I've got Diablo 3 in its current state or Torchlight 2.
Yep.
Give me Diablo.
I'm generally with you.
Yeah. Most of my game time this week has been playing multiplayer Stardew Valley with my wife. We've gotten way back into that.
Nice.
That's been fantastic. And Slay the Spire, like that's going to be going into full release soon. So they finally updated the end game, I guess, so it'll have one, because it didn't really have one before. Like you would just beat the last boss, and it was like, okay, you did it. Here's your score. Roll credits. And a lot of people didn't like that. I don't care, but
So what's their end game going to be like?
I don't know. I haven't been able to get to it yet. Like you have to beat the game with each of the 3 classes, and then I guess from there you can get to the end game. So I've done the first step of that, and I'm trying to see what it's all about. But god damn it, I love that game.
It's
I think Steam says I've got like 250 hours in it, and I bought it this year. So
yeah, yeah. I know there were many nights where I was like, we had either finished playing something, or maybe I was just like checking one thing before I went to bed, and I was like, oh, Brian is playing Slay the Spire at 1 a.m. All right. that's how he's rolling.
yep,
So.
I can like play it as a focused experience, or I can, like drag a card and then go and make a sandwich and go do something else and come back, and
Nice.
works well both ways.
Nice. That's very cool.
That's what I've been up to.
Nice. Real briefly, I installed RuneScape Old School on my mobile phone today.
Your cellular device?
Yes, my Apple smartphone. I used to play the shit out of RuneScape as a child, and this is the crusty ass old version of RuneScape on a phone. I haven't played it much at all, but it exists. You can do that today if you want.
I've never played a RuneScape.
Well, Brian, if you have a phone, I think it'll run on it. It is
I watched someone play it back in the day, and I was like, oh my god, this was like the most grindy thing in the world.
It was. It was definitely that. It was like point and click movement. The combat was very, very like basic. Casting spells used a consumable called runes. Like you had to actually craft these runes in order to cast spells and stuff. It's such a weird game. Everything was based on like skill ups and redoing and grinding stuff to increase your different skills and stuff. And yeah, it was nuts. But I used to play it all the time, and this was like, it was free to play. I didn't have World of Warcraft money, and I don't think that was even out yet when I first got into this game. It's been around since 1999. So
I know there's multiple iterations of it out now.
yeah, yep, they've done like a RuneScape 2 or something to that effect, and the old school version is way more popular. And this thing was a browser game. It ran in a browser, so that was like you could play it on anything and it would run
That helps
just
a lot.
fine. Yeah. So it's a neat thing. I'm gonna check it out just to get my little hit of nostalgia, hear all the sounds and stuff coming out of my phone. It's kind of cool. So there you go. Forgot to mention that. With that, let's get into some news, huh? We should probably do some news. Here it comes. Hey, it's the news, and breaking news. This comes to us from our friend Vito. He wanted to let us know that Brie Larson is on board to play Samus in a Metroid movie. So there is no Metroid movie announced, but she just wants to do it. And she dressed up as Zero Suit Samus for Halloween, and so people are freaking out. Brie Larson is, for those keeping score, playing Captain Marvel in the new Captain Marvel movie, as well as the next Avengers, and was in Scott Pilgrim. So she's awesome. And
Yeah.
I believe
She was great in Scott
she was
Pilgrim.
on the very top of our list, and we're like, man, who could be Samus in a Metroid movie? So it sounds like she's
Not my list.
into it. Well, your list is wrong.
Okay.
Just kidding. I think she'd be great. So there you go. And the
Charlize
picture
Theron
here-
was on top of my list, by the way.
all right, whatever, man. She could do it. She just might be a little bit too mature.
I think she's more badass
Dodge.
than you, though.
Yeah. Anyway, there you go. Hey, that PlayStation Classic, it's got a list of games now.
Are they good?
It's got a list of games now.
Yeah, I see a couple that were kind of no-brainers in Metal Gear Solid and Final Fantasy VII.
I would like to see if I can figure out how many of these I've actually played. I did play Cool Borders 2. That is a snowboarding game that I have actually played.
Tekken 3.
Tekken 3, yep.
The first Twisted Metal is a weird choice because that one was not very popular or good, and Twisted Metal 2 was kind of the big watershed moment for that series.
Same with Grand Theft Auto. Like,
yeah,
I feel like the second iteration of that game was also a lot better. It was still the same, top-down 2D thing, but that, and I think there was, oh god, I can't remember if it was 2 or one of like an expansion or offshoot, but it took place in London. I used to play that at a friend's house a whole lot. Oddworld,
like
Abe's Odyssey. That's a beloved series that I've never played.
Same.
I dabbled with it way back in the day. It's good. Back then. 20 plus years ago.
I mean,
the original Persona game.
Okay, all right.
I'd be curious about that, but I can't imagine I would want to sit down and play it.
Yeah. I just man, I don't know. I get that, like, if you grew up and this is your system, you probably feel fondly about a lot of this stuff, but like you've said multiple times, Brian, this shit just does not age well visually or control wise. It's rough. It's a rough era for games.
I don't have any warm feelings toward anything on this list. Like, I remember Wild Arms being a really generic JRPG, like. But for me, the PS1 was mostly like PC ports, and car combat games was an awful lot of what I was doing. And my RPGs aren't on here, so.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VII is is an obvious classic. Metal Gear Solid was a great game, but I don't know, man. I don't know.
I have no shortage of ways to play Final Fantasy Tactics, so. For me, I didn't need that on here anyway, but yeah, it'll sell. It's also weird that it's got the non-dual shock controllers.
Yeah, especially for some of the shooters and stuff. That's gonna be just weird. So there you go. Get your PlayStation Classic. Get it while it's hot, and I hope you like looking at stuff made out of triangles, because there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that. Well, for the big news of the week, BlizzCon happened, or is more accurate, is happening currently. There's been a lot of news. First one, should we just get right into it?
Yeah, let's dive in.
So, for what feels like a decade, but it hasn't been that long, it's been more like 6 or 7 years.
6 years.
We've been hearing about Diablo and waiting for Diablo to have its moment at BlizzCon.
It did.
This year,
it had a moment.
This year, leading up to BlizzCon, one of the devs on that team came out and said, like, we've got lots of news coming later this year. We can't wait to talk to you about it. We've got several Diablo projects in the works, and you'll hear about it soon. And so everyone was like, well, this is the year. D4 confirmed. Like, we're finally going to hear about it. And like a couple days ago, like a week ago maybe, Blizzard kind of put a little post out that was like,
well, maybe,
pump the brakes on that shit. Like, hold on. We've got some stuff to say.
Everyone was like, so maybe it's a Diablo 2 remaster, maybe another character for D3, maybe a D3 X-Pack. I don't know, like, it ain't D4, but it's, it's something.
Yeah, and then they went full Valve and announced a fucking mobile game.
Yep.
And not just a mobile game.
How long ago did I predict a mobile game for Diablo?
Yeah, and which I feel like that's a given, but I feel like you don't open BlizzCon with it.
Right.
Like, you announced the mobile
Fallout
game.
Shelter was announced. Like, didn't they announce that alongside Fallout 4? I think so. It wasn't like, ladies and gentlemen, new Fallout game coming at you.
Just this year at E3, Bethesda dropped a Elder Scrolls Blades,
Mobile.
but
Yeah.
also dropped Elder Scrolls 6, at least announced it, just at least confirmed that it exists.
This was mishandled from the beginning.
A little D4 teaser, just the fucking logo, would have been enough to just say, like, please also know that we are not just leaving you with a mobile game, which everyone knows they're not, but you still can't just come out and do that. So.
At a live event in front of the hardcore gamer fans who aren't going to take to this well after hyping it up earlier in the year. Like, this was botched every step of the way.
I think we were kind of like being facetious, but like it was like you could almost hear just like the very charitable, minuscule applause of like, oh, okay, yeah,
right, the polite applause,
right. You hear a guy cough, you hear a baby start crying, like that's like
right.
Crickets start chirping.
Like they got booed. Yeah. Has that ever happened at a BlizzCon? Have they gotten booed on the stage?
I don't know. The closest was JL and Brack in the opening ceremonies.
You think you want that, but you don't.
Well, that, and then also, that's the new meme for WoW Classic. Yeah. But no, just this year he was announcing stuff for StarCraft 2, and he's like, and we've got a new. What do they call that mode? I can't remember. Something Commander. We've got a new it's some kind of separate mode. Co-op Commander, yes. Yeah. And we're bringing you Zeratul. And it was just like nobody clapped. Everyone was just like, okay, yeah, thanks. No one's playing that.
Yeah, like at one point when they booed during the Diablo thing, one of the devs was like, "What? Don't you have phones?"
Yeah, well, the question was like, is this coming to PC? And they were like, no.
Yeah.
It's just going to be on mobile. And they're like, oh, well, no one has a phone?
Bad fucking look all the way around. Like, people are going way overboard with their reaction to it, as they always do. People are like, oh, Blizzard, never again. I'm going to go take a dump on all my Blizzard stuff. I hate you forever. And it's real childish and stupid, but I think it's justified to be very disappointed. Like, they have fucked this up badly.
So
I would say that it's a bad announcement, but it doesn't disappoint me. I don't care that it exists.
Sure, like it's a disappointing direction, I think, for the company, but any big mega billion-dollar company is going to do this. I'm sure there are people in suits who don't give a shit about what the IPs are, that said, hey, these are profitable, go get one of these and make us some fucking money.
One of the biggest criticisms seems to be that it's a reskin of another game that was made by that Chinese company. Like they just
NetEase, I think.
Yeah, I've played that other game. It's like Crusaders of Light, I think. Isn't that the one? Something like that.
It had some real generic. One of those games where you were like bored and you're taking a poop and you're like, I'm gonna install these 5 free games and then play them for 1 minute each and delete them all.
I think that is exactly my experience. Bravo. Like, good job.
How did you know?
By the time this dump is done, I'll know if I'm gonna ever play this again, and the answer is no. Yeah, it's a bummer, but it's not uncommon. This is a thing that happens. There's a mobile version of Paladins, the game that my brother-in-law Zach works on. Full disclosure, and it's pretty good. It plays a lot like Heroes. It's like a isometric MOBA style thing, but it's all the Paladins characters in there. And I was actually playing that for like a couple weeks, and he was like, "Yeah, we don't make that game." It's a very clear, when you boot the thing up, it comes up with another Dev Studios logo and stuff too. So it's like they're just making deals with these companies that can make these games, and they're super profitable, super successful, especially in those markets, China and Japan. Mobile gaming is so much bigger.
People don't sit in front of their TVs and game on their consoles nearly as much.
Or PCs, yeah, it's.
And like the big problem with this isn't that it exists; it's that they, got people hyped up for it and then gave it a big spotlight. And then like if they just announced it off to the side somewhere or not at BlizzCon, people would be like, "Oh, that's fucking stupid," but whatever. And it'd be fine.
Or, you know, it would have the opportunity to be looked at as just like, oh, well, shit. I mean, it's a Diablo thing on my phone. Fuck it. Like,
not under the biggest microscope.
Right. And instead, it feels like, maybe the most valid criticism that I've seen is that it feels like Blizzard doesn't understand that we're smart enough to know what the fuck this thing is. Like, you know, I can get behind a lot of PR bullshit. I can get hyped up for things that, you know, a lot of people way more jaded and cynical than me just brush off and, you know, get upset about. But like something like this just does kind of feel like, dude, we know what this thing is. It's a shitty mobile game, and don't try to sell it to me like the coolest thing, you know?
They seemed kind of genuinely surprised by the reaction, which tells me that they are out of touch with at least what their core audience wants, because this isn't it.
They did also say, hey, hold your expectations.
Right.
So, I mean, I think they also kind of knew, like,
and they undershot
this isn't the biggest news in the world here. Like, calm down.
But
that was after
to
everyone
Brian's
was like,
point,
Diablo 4 confirmed.
Right.
They were like I took that as, well, no, it's not Diablo 4, guys.
Yeah. So to me, anything less than that would have been in the realm of like, oh, it's a Diablo 3 expansion. They're gonna try to get a little bit more mileage out of that, or it's a Diablo 3 class, or it's
it's people raiding into too much.
Sure, but I think those are reasonable expectations.
They caused that, you know, they said, "Hey, we've got lots of stuff in the works. Get excited."
Yeah. I would just say that the first thing out of the gate that I announced would not have been the Chinese developed mobile game. Right. I would have announced literally anything else and then tossed that in as filler at the end. And they tried to make this the main course.
The announcement was handled very poorly. The actual PR side of it, but
well, we can talk about some of the good things that they've announced. Destiny
4.
Yes, Destiny 2
confirmed
is free on PC through the Battle.net app. So you can get that until November 18th. It's a free gift you can claim through Battle.net. I just did it. It's super easy.
Yep. I did it before the show as well.
It showed up on my launcher. I clicked the little present and it was like, here.
Luke, you and I played a little bit with Rob, a friend of the show, Rob, not that long ago, and I think the reason that I didn't get into it more was that I, in my head, knew, like, oh, well, this has an expiration date on it, like, I can only get to level 20 or something before I gotta stop playing, so I just kind of let it go. But, I would probably at least play through the story co-op with people, like, seems like it
was a great shooter. It ran fantastic, it felt good, the combat was great.
So
I just didn't want to drop $60 on a game that I didn't know how long I was going to really stick with it.
And I'm hearing decent things
just
about
go through and grind through it, or just do the storyline and be done. So this is great for me, and if it's fantastic, maybe I'll pick up the DLC, which
I think that's what they're hoping.
They're expecting.
Yeah, for sure.
Get people into the base game, and they'll spend $10-15 on the DLC.
Yep.
So it's cool. Yeah, I have it. I didn't download it yet. Maybe I will.
Yeah, I'm planning on installing it. I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah. I'll probably be deleting the 50 gigs of Fallout 76 soon.
There you go. You'll have the room. Some other things they've announced: a Warcraft 3 remaster. I think it's called Reforged. I'm stoked about that.
Question.
Answer.
Does this include Frozen Throne?
I don't know.
I think so.
They would have to, right?
I think it would have to, yeah. It says, let's see, it goes beyond a graphic overhaul. Let me see here. Let's see if I can find out during an interview. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. So they basically said last year they revamped StarCraft, the original StarCraft, and it was literally just a graphics overhaul. They left the core gameplay alone. It looks like with this, they're looking to bring this thing into the modern age a little bit more. They're updating more than just the assets for it. So I don't know. I can't find. Let me see if I can do a little search. See if this includes Frozen Throne. Does not say.
I thought they did something recently where they already re-released Warcraft 3 and had like widescreen support and stuff like that, or was that a different
Yeah.
title?
I think they added it to BattleNet, and I don't think it. You might be right. I think they may have just like added some modern stuff, like it'll run on 64-bit systems and like
It's handy.
widescreen support and that kind of thing. Yeah, I think you're right, but I
So
don't
this
think.
goes above and beyond that then.
Oh yeah, this is like
Yeah.
all new models, like completely, you know.
So like redoing it from the ground up.
Yeah, it looks like they're doing everything. I don't know if all the audio will be redone as well. I kind of doubt that, but who knows. But I'm interested, man. I don't know. I played Warcraft 3 years and years ago, so I'm seeing Arthas and
missed out on
Jaina
it.
and Uther and everybody all looking real pretty. So
I was a hipster and I had my own, like other RTS that had heroes in it that I thought was better. I didn't like the way the heroes in Warcraft 3 didn't persist from game to game. I played Warlord's Battlecry and you got like levels and gear and skills and you kept that from game to game, and I was way into that.
this is more session based. It was just like
Yep.
for this mission you have these items and you're kind of starting
Right, you
over each
start at
time.
level 1.
I wonder if your experience with heroes would maybe tune you to like this kind of thing more, because that's certainly
Maybe.
where this is born from.
Right.
So, yeah.
Is this something they're charging for, or is it a free remake?
I don't know that.
I imagine it'll be paid.
Yeah, so if they're putting that much work into it, I would assume so.
It says it'll be released for Mac and PC in 2019. It does not list pricing. I would throw some money at this. I don't know how much would be appropriate, but I would like to check that out for sure. So, there you
I
go.
might. I installed it in my Warcraft days just to kind of check it out and look at some of the storyline. And then I just went on YouTube and watched the videos instead.
Yeah. Boy, some of most of that game looked dated when it was released back in 2003,
Yeah.
2004, whenever that was. I can't remember. But like it was already rough then, and yeah, if you try to play any of that now, it's bad. So, we'll see. See how that goes. Blizzard's been getting crucified over Battle for Azeroth on the forums and stuff lately. It just seems like they aren't really sure where to take that game. So I know there's been panels and stuff, but I haven't brought myself to watch any of them yet to see what they're thinking for Battle for Azeroth. I know they're planning a big patch. 8.1 is supposed to be coming soon for a while. It's supposed to be like a new Warfront and some other things. I don't know. I'll have to report back on that once I look a little bit more into it. Heroes has got a new hero that is unique to Heroes of the Storm. It's not a existing Blizzard character for the first time. That's pretty cool. She's called Orphelia or Orphea. That's it.
Orphea.
Orphea.
Yeah.
Yeah, she seems cool as hell. Like,
Yeah, she's got a coffin on her back and she throws purple ghosty chompy things around.
yeah.
She seems very mobile.
They
I think
released.
they called her a dance assassin. Like, she seems like she darts around a lot.
Yeah, one of her skill shots is like she shoots out this thing, this tendril, and if it hits, she does like a fucking sidestep, and it's called like Waltz of Chaos or something or other. I don't know, but it seems really cool. Yeah, I don't know.
Some other changes to the game that we're gonna see how they go.
Right?
They're changing the classes from 4 to 6, and I think that's a good thing. Sounds like they're going to rework a couple of the specialists into assassins. Like Sylvanas is getting turned into an assassin.
Really? Huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's odd.
Yeah, I think it's tank, bruiser, melee assassin, ranged assassin, healer, and support.
Huh? I feel like there could probably easily be 2 or 3 more that we could segment out, but all right.
I've come to hate specialists.
Yeah.
The way a lot of people play them, because they just pick a lane and push it, and someone's got to babysit them.
Mm-hmm.
It's really not fun. Where it's like, oh, I'm at the objective. Oh, enemy, Gazlow's pushing our top lane again. I'll go.
It really is a game about team fighting. Like that at its core, it was always billed as a hero brawler, is what they called it, and that's
right.
That's the exciting game, and it does feel like, there's an
They play it as a
Asmodean,
PvE game. Yeah.
and he's just gonna be bottom lane, and we're gonna have to deal with him, and that it just doesn't. It's not great.
Yeah, I went last time. You go this time.
I do love the stuff that they're doing with like cinematics and shit for this game. Like,
they're changing.
so cool.
Keeps will not give XP anymore.
Huh.
They will instead make that lane spawn a catapult. Like, I think every third wave will spawn a catapult, so it'll be a more consistent push, I guess, instead of the big
Just
gains
one?
from right.
Huh. So it's just going to be a thing that'll add more pressure, but not necessarily give a level advantage. I kind of like that. I kind of like the idea.
Mercs are going to give more XP, and I guess the trickle XP is going to be a little faster.
Okay.
That's going to be a pretty major change. And they said they're changing the way stim packs work. I guess instead of like the way it works now is your stim pack gives your entire team or like everyone in the game a 5% bump.
Huh.
So if multiple people in the game have their own stim packs, then everyone in the game gets a bump, or maybe everyone with a stim pack gets that extra bump.
Interesting.
I don't know. A lot of changes. Oh, and they're supposed to change quick match to make it guaranteed to have a tank and a healer and an assassin, I think.
Huh.
Like, unless you have a 5 stack that doesn't have it.
Interesting.
Which that would be nice, because I like quick match, but a lot of the time,
Yeah.
it just goes sideways.
Each night that we decide to dip into quick match, it feels like at least a couple times we're just like, what the fuck is this comp? Like, oh, we've got 3 specialists, a healer, and a bruiser. Okay, well, weird. Well, all right, we'll figure it out. And I don't know. Sometimes it works out well, but a lot of times it just feels. We call it wacky match for a reason.
Yep.
I don't know. But yeah, so I'm down with changes. I think it's cool that we walked away from this game for a long time.
Probably a good 6 or 7 months.
And they didn't slow down much. Like they're keeping a pretty brisk pace with releasing new heroes and making changes and responding to stuff. The esports scene seems alive and well. There's still competitive teams at BlizzCon and a whole meta that's constantly changing. So it's cool to see the game getting updates and staying fresh. So I'm cool with them taking chances. Hearthstone's getting an expansion, and I'll apologize because I don't really play Hearthstone, don't really know anything about it, but if you're a Hearthstone person, you're getting an expansion, so there you go.
Overwatch is getting a new character.
I did watch the cinematic for that, because their cinematics are just fucking great. It features McCree heavily. Matthew Mercer does the voice for that. Shout out, Critical Role for Luke there. Yeah, the new character's Ash. She seems pretty cool. She's a cowgirl. She's got a cool rifle.
She a sniper then?
No, it's I don't think so. She seems to have like a sawed-off shotgun as like an alt fire thing, and I can't really tell if she's got some kind of like a time slow thing going on too, which I don't know how that would work in a multiplayer game. But she seems to be able to aim down sights with her rifle and pick people off, but then also like she has like a cool knockback ability when she's up close. And I believe her ult summons an AI dude who comes in and like protects her and fights for her, from what I can tell. So she's definitely going to shake things up. Her name's Ash. So if you're into Overwatch, check that out. The cool thing with Overwatch is all the new heroes and stuff that they add are free. So if you own the game, you get all the heroes forever, it seems like.
Yeah, I don't see myself getting back into it, but it is good knowing that if I ever did, it's all right there.
Yep. Timing's good too. Like with Red Dead Redemption being so huge right now, like having Blizzard come out and be like, "Here's some Western stuff. Go on and check that out." Seems neat. But,
it's a cool gun she has.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like she can do like a rocket jump with it. She like, fire it at the ground to boost herself up a little bit. Kind of pogo around. Got some dynamite. I don't know. Seems cool.
I like it.
Yeah. I don't know if there's anything else that I missed. Anything big from BlizzCon yet. There's been some gameplay from the mobile game. Seems to be kind of lukewarm at best. There's a bunch of esports going on. I don't know. We'll see. I want to. I'll be excited to see some of the panels and stuff afterwards. The cosplay at BlizzCon is always great. They do like a big cosplay competition, so we'll
How much longer does it go?
Stories.
Does it end tomorrow?
I think it ends tonight or tomorrow. Yeah, I'm not sure.
How funny would it be if they're like, "Oh shit! Like we need to really cover up this whole Diablo fiasco," and like the closing ceremonies, they just put like a D4 and like
a banner or something.
Made it like paint or something like that.
Someone got some poster board.
Yeah, exactly.
right.
Got some glitter.
Well, guys, one last announcement here is D4.
That's pretty good.
Then the internet shits its pants and all is forgiven.
Yep, I could see that happening. It wouldn't be the
and
worst
in the background,
idea.
They're like, "All right, guys, get a team together, start making Diablo 4."
I wouldn't be surprised if it was just like you said, throw the logo up. We'll call it good.
It's just a black Sharpie on like a white poster board or something.
See, guys.
We had this planned all along. Got you good, didn't we?
With how much hype there was leading up to Diablo 3, I remember there was a website that I believe we checked in Geek Squad frequently. They did this whole like lead up, and it was this ice. God, I can't find it. But there was like this ice picture, and you couldn't really make out what it was. And like each day leading up to the announcement, they had like a new rune or something that would show up, and people were trying to piece together what the heck it meant. And then eventually you saw these like glowing blue eyes behind the ice, and everyone was like, "Oh shit, it's obviously an Arthas thing, like whatever this weird, augmented reality thing they're doing is pointing to something to do with the Lich King." And then it was like the ice breaks open and it's freaking Diablo, and everyone's like, "Oh shit." And then they announced Diablo 3. It was like this cool lead up to that moment. I feel like they've got to have something planned for whatever they're doing next with Diablo proper, but we'll see.
Well, stay tuned for BlizzCon 2019.
Cross your fingers, boys. All right. We don't have a topic this week. We don't have any emails, so I think we're just going to get up on out of here. Unless you guys have anything else pressing that you wanted to discuss. All right, well, hey, with that, thank you for tuning in to episode... Shit, what was this? 90? Is this 99? 99. Thanks for being here, everybody. As always, you can find the show at questlogcast.com. You can find it on the YouTubes. You can find it on the Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, wherever you get your shows. We'll be there. You can find more of this music that you're hearing over at visitor.us. Shout out to Visitor for letting us use all of this awesome music that you're hearing. And follow us on Twitter. It's at QuestLogCast. Find out when the shows go up, it'll be right there. And until next time, have a great day. Or night, whenever you're listening to this. Really, time of day isn't important. Just, I hope you have a great day.
Smooth.
Yep.
Take care.
All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
Have a great something, Just make sure it's great.
Hope the next 7 hours are good for you.
Give or take. Factoring in for daylight savings, of course.